Villainous by It's_Kingston on AO3. Episode 31, Chapter 19, Company. Glad to see you're all in one piece, Kirigiri said as the four walked in. Dabi was careful to avoid the tripwire as he rubbed the sleep from his eye. He instantly went to lay on the couch. Ochako eyed the wire suspiciously. She stepped over it. It was only 12:40 p.m., and she wasn't exactly sure how to spend her time, though it definitely wasn't by testing that trap. "You're making me uncomfortable standing there like that," Dabi said from the couch. His eyes were closed, and Ochako wondered how he noticed her. "Feels like you're gonna stab me or something." "Sorry," Ochako said, and moved away. Twice had grabbed his stuff and ran inside, not bothering to get the chicken from the cooler in the back. Apparently, inspiration had struck him, and he sped off to his room to finish Ochako's suit. Toga was getting the chicken from the trunk, though it was taking her a while. Maybe she wanted to be left alone for a bit? Kirigiri and Shigaraki sat at the bar, discussing something, when the pale man got up and went upstairs to do something. Kirigiri gestured for her to come over. Ochako was happy to talk to him over at Shigaraki. The way the blue-haired man did anything made her anxious. "You seem lost. What seems to be the problem?" he asked, tipping back a glass. It looked like water, or possibly vodka, but she wasn't sure. "Nothing, really." She sat down on one of the stools. I've just been doing something or another since I got here yesterday. I'm just not sure what to do now." "Well, we don't want you leaving the premises without someone for the next week or so, until we can judge you thoroughly. But you're free to wander around, do as you please." The mistman gestured around, before returning his focus on Ochako. "You can look upstairs. Across from Toga's room is an old closet. If you clean it up, you can keep the room," he suggested. "Okay." Ochako nodded. "Might be better than sleeping on the floor," she said sarcastically. In truth, her back had been incredibly stiff when she had woken up. Kirigiri chuckled. "Yes, that may be the case," he said, eyes falling on Shigaraki, who came back down the stairs. Ochako took this as her cue to leave, and went upstairs. Twice looked out his door when he heard footsteps. "Hey, Negate!" He gestured for her to come over. The room was sequentially messier than yesterday's, but on the mannequin was a finished suit. Ta-da! Twice handed her the visor. It looked exactly how she had sketched it out, and when she put it on, she was happy to find that it fit perfectly. "This is awesome." Her voice was muffled in the helmet, but Twice could still hear her. "You sound like a different person," he remarked. Ochako hit a button on the side, and the plastic slid up and onto the top of the helmet, revealing her face. "That's so cool," she chuckled. "Is it all done?" "Nope, I still need the stitches of the side of the shoes, but I'll be done by tonight, the latest." Twice was beaming behind his mask, incredibly happy that someone fully appreciated his work. He held out a closed fist. Ochako fist bumped him and smiled. "Thank you, again." She took off the helmet and handed it back to Twice. "What are friends for? Now, out please. I want to finish this before dinner, so I can enjoy the fried chicken and pass out at the table without any worries about finishing the suit." Ochako laughed and left his room, closing the door behind her. She headed to the old closet and cautiously opened the door. When nothing fell out and crushed her, and no large spiders or rodents attacked, she opened it fully. It was dusty and cobwebbed for sure, but there was hardly enough in there to be considered a closet. A few of, presumably Twice's, mannequins, and a couple of cardboard boxes were in the room's only possessions. Luckily, the broom was also stored in this closet, which was the same size as the other rooms. She wondered what made this a closet, or if that's just what they designated the extra room. Maybe this is where Mr. Compress or Muscular stayed before they were caught. Probably not. She doubted the League would demote their room to closet space and clear out their stuff. A dusty mop was also in the corner, tucked behind boxes that dotted the room. Moving everything to the center with her quirk, she began to clean the room. She first dusted the cobwebs away, not noting anything off about the room. No bug or rodent infestation, nor mold or leaking. There was nothing wrong with this room, fortunately. She started humming while she kept sweeping the floor, and was startled to find Toga at the doorway when she turned around. "Cute song," the blonde said, smiling. "Oh, thanks." Ochako kept sweeping, pausing to look up at Toga after realizing the girl stood there. "Did you need me for something?" "No, just standing here." "You can help if you want. I was going to try to figure out whose stuff was whose without going through the boxes," Ochako said, using the dustpan she found to sweep it up. She opened the room's window, the current source of all her light, and made sure there was nothing before dumping the dust out the window. "You gonna stay here?" Toga asked curiously. It felt almost like she was hinting at something. "Yeah, Kirigiri said I could clean it up and stay here instead of bunking on your floor." Ochako chuckled and put the broom at the corner with the duster. "Really?" Toga hummed. She came to stand beside the boxes and looked at top writing. "Stuff to eventually burns is Dobby's. I remember him writing that." "Yeah, but I might stay in there with you until I get it fully cleaned, if that's all right with you, of course." Ochako smiled, awkwardly. She didn't want to impose on the blonde, but at the same time, she wanted to stay close to her. Maybe it's because she knew Toga longer than he knew the rest of the League, but Ochako felt safe around her. "That's fine. It's nice to have someone there, too," Toga said, moving to the next box. She was smiling now. "Thanks." Ochako smiled, and floated Dobby's box to the corner of the room. Maybe she'll try to return it to the man later. "Oh, I'll take that. I'll just leave it on his floor." Toga picked up the box, which wasn't particularly heavy, and carried it away. A few minutes later, she came back and moved the next box, glasses and pictures, downstairs, where Kirigiri unpacked it. "Hey, Chako," Toga said as she came back in. Ochako couldn't help but smile. Toga hadn't called her that since they fought in the forest. Granted, it was only a day and a half ago, but it was still worrying. "Do you want to go out and get something for lunch with me? We can look for stuff to put in here afterwards." "Sure, I needed some stuff to fill up this room anyways," Ochako replied. "Once we finish sorting the boxes." Toga nodded. The final box they had in the room was unmarked. "I think this is mine, actually." Toga opened the box, peering inside it. Old clothes, mostly blood-stained and torn, filled the box halfway. The rest was empty, save for the mealed old knife on the top. It was curved and warped around the edges, and looked as if someone had left it above an open flame for far too long. "This was the first one I had," she elaborated, smiling at the reflective metal. "Oh." Ochako looked down at it. "How did it get like that?" "When I met Dobby and Twice for the first time, I tried to attack them, 'cause they startled me. Dobby melted my knife, and he still hasn't gotten me a new one." She murmured that last part angrily, and Ochako giggled. "Maybe that's because you have enough?" Ochako said, and Toga elbowed her playfully. "No such thing." Yo! Okay, this is a sweet chapter. What do I have a feeling Ochako's not getting a new room, and she's instead gonna be bunking with Toga for the rest of the time. Or maybe she does get her new room. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe she does, maybe she doesn't. I really think that what Toga was hinting at, like, hey, you could stay in my room kind of situation, right? Also, Toga knows. Toga definitely knows that Ochako probably has some sort of crush, right? There is literally no way. I'm sorry, but if I was in Toga's position, even me being as, dense as I am, and as idiotic as I am, I would immediately be like, okay, yeah, no, they have a crush. I mean, it's obvious. It's fucking obvious. Twice made it so obvious. Twice made it obvious. Twice literally spelled it out. And was like, what? No. Spelling it out. Like, dude, you made it obvious. You made it obvious. It was like, it was so obvious. May I say again, it was obvious. I don't really have much to say about this chapter. Not really much to say. Yeah, let's just go with the end notes. Not the end notes, the outro. As always, my raindrops, make sure to eat, sleep, drink water, take your meds. Have a wonderful day or night. Link to my Discord server and socials are down in the description. Subscribe to see more of my content, and thank you so much for watching.